if you're thinking about buying the Seagate FireCuda 530 SSD, because you heard it's blazing fast and perfect for gaming or content creation. Hold on. But here's what surprised me. This supposedly ultimate storage solution might not be the flawless powerhouse you expect. In fact, while the FireCuda 530 boasts jaw-dropping speeds up to 7300 MBs and a sleek heat dissipation system, there are some hidden caveats that every buyer should know before hitting that buy button. So if you want raw speed, endurance, and value, stick around because I'm diving deep into what makes this SSD a controversial pick and why it might still be the right choice for you. Let's kick things off with what the FireCuda 530 promises. Seagate markets this SSD as their fastest ever, leveraging PCIe Gen4 technology to deliver transfer rates up to 2 times faster than the Gen 3 drives and 12 times faster than traditional SATA. The allure is undeniable if you're a hardcore gamer or a professional content creator who deals with massive files. The speed can be a true game changer. Plus, it comes with a custom-built low-profile heatsink designed in partnership with EKWB to reduce thermal throttling and maintain peak performance during intense sessions. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the twist. The actual experience isn't always sunshine and rainbows. You see, the FireCuda 530 costs around $447.99 for the 2 TB version, which is a significant investment for most. It also boasts an outstanding 4.8 out of 5 stars rating on Amazon, signaling strong user satisfaction. But now, here's where most reviews gloss over some critical issues. First off, while its raw speed figures are impressive in synthetic benchmarks, real-world usage often shows inconsistent performance under sustained loads. Many users report that once the drive heats up, even with the heatsink installed, the transfer speeds dip as the drive throttles itself to avoid overheating, which kind of throws a wrench in the promise of uninterrupted blazing speed. If you're a gamer hoping to reduce game load times to near instant, or a video editor aiming to slash rendering times, this slowdown can be frustrating. Thermal throttling is a problem even with the included heatsink, because the drive runs remarkably hot, especially during extended heavy workloads. So, despite the EKWB collaboration, heat management on this drive can disappoint. That's pretty ironic given the tall claims about the low-profile heatsink designed to maximize cooling. If only your SSD could wear a tiny fan like a hat, talk about a fashion statement. Now, this raises the question, who exactly is the Seagate FireCuda 530 for? If you just want to install your operating system or store everyday files, the performance boost here probably won't justify the premium price. But if you're a pro user, someone who regularly handles 4K or 8K video editing, large-scale 3D modeling, or hefty gaming libraries, this drive can still shine despite its quirks. However, be prepared to manage your workloads and expect some heat spikes during marathon sessions. It's not a plug-and-play magic bullet, but rather a high-performance tool that requires responsible usage. Before you bail on this SSD, here's something interesting. The FireCuda 530 comes with a hefty endurance rating and a 5-year warranty. That means it's built for sustained abuse far beyond what typical consumer SSDs handle. Plus, Seagate includes 3 years of rescue data recovery services, basically a safety net in case of data loss. This is a big deal for creators who can't afford to lose precious work. So in terms of reliability and peace of mind, Seagate's got your back. But the flip side is this premium support and durability comes at a price that might make your wallet want to scream louder than your computer's fans. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room, price versus value. At nearly $450 for 2 TB, this drive lands in the upper bracket of consumer SSDs. You can find Gen 4 drives that cost less, but often without the same durability or top-tier speeds. If money isn't an object and you're chasing performance, the FireCuda 530 might be worth it. Just don't expect miracles during long, intensive file transfers. However, if budget is tight or you need reliability with steady performance, there are alternatives worth considering that won't make you question your SSD's loyalty every time you hit a speed bump. Also, the drive comes with capacities that vary. So if 2 TB is overkill for your needs, smaller sizes are available, but keep in mind the price per GB goes up. Buying smaller might save money up front but lessens your breathing room for games or projects, which is counterproductive. Interestingly, it's also not just about speed and capacity. Installation matters too. The FireCuda 530 is an M.2 NVMe SSD, so make sure your motherboard supports PCIe Gen4 to unlock the full potential. Otherwise, you'll be stuck at slower speeds closer to Gen3 SSDs, which turns the SSD's marquee feature into a squandered resource. Now, I promised you some storytelling, and this product's journey is quite the ride. When I first heard about the FireCuda 530, I imagined a storage beast tearing through my projects with zero hiccups. After unboxing and installing it in my rig, those initial benchmarks dazzled me. Gusts of speed that made other SSDs look like they were stuck in molasses. Yet, as real-world tasks piled up, the initial sheen started to dull. Temperatures climbed, performance dipped, and I found myself needing to give the drive a break to cool down and avoid throttling. It felt like buying a supercar that sputters mid-race because you're driving it too hard, a frustrating experience for sure. On the flip side, when I used it for typical daily tasks or shorter bursts of demanding work, the FireCuda 530 was flawless. Fast load times, smooth file transfers, and the reassuring knowledge that my data was protected under that 5-year warranty made it a dependable companion. Plus, that sleek EKWB heatsink isn't just for show. It does help during less intense periods and keeps the SSD cooler than standard drives. So it's a trade-off. Unmatched speed when not pushed to extremes versus thermal throttling when running at full tilt for too long. Here's a quick joke break before we continue. Why did the SSD get promoted? Because it always stored up success. All right, back on track. Another interesting talking point is the drive's compatibility beyond PCs. The FireCuda 530 is a boon for console gamers, particularly on systems like the PlayStation 5, which supports PCIe Gen4 SSDs for storage expansion. Installing this SSD on a PS5 can massively reduce load times and improve gameplay experience due to those lightning-fast speeds. However, I should point out that some users mention the drive can get warm within the console's compact chassis, and while the heatsink is low profile, it still takes up some space. Therefore, checking your console's specifications for clearance is essential. Speaking of jokes, why don't SSDs ever get lost? Because they always keep track of their sectors. Okay, that one was a bit nerdy, but I'm here all day to wrap this up and offer a clear recommendation. If you need the fastest PCIe Gen4 SSD, are okay with managing potential heat and performance dips under sustained loads, and want a drive that's tough enough to last years, go for the Seagate FireCuda 530. It's the speed demon of the bunch with plenty of endurance and safety nets to back it up. But if you're on a budget, do repetitive heavy lifting, or want consistent thermal performance without worrying about throttling, there might be better SSDs out there that balance speed, price, and heat management more evenly. Before you decide, remember this. Prices on Amazon can change rapidly, and sometimes the FireCuda 530 shoots up or down in cost depending on deals and stock. So if you're leaning toward grabbing one, check the link in the description for the current best price. Don't wait around too long because the perfect upgrade deal might vanish like my SSD's cool factor under heavy loads. Here's a final little joke to send you on your way. Why did the hard drive break up with the SSD? Because it found the SSD too fast for a long-term relationship. Cheesy, I know, but sometimes the best tech review includes a little humor. So, to sum it all up, Seagate FireCuda 530 delivers mind-blowing speeds and robust endurance, making it an excellent choice for gamers and creative professionals seeking peak performance. But beware of its tendency to heat up and throttle under prolonged heavy use, and prepare your budget accordingly. If you can live with those quirks, it's a top-tier SSD with peace-of-mind warranties and data recovery services that few competitors match. If you need sheer speed backed with reliability, FireCuda 530 is a worthy contender. Check out the link below for the latest pricing and give your rig the boost it deserves.